And we're here. Hello. We return back to some great Ace Attorney. Welcome, everyone. I don't know why I always start off so low-key, like, oh God, I had something in mind and then I lost it. Thank you, brain. Hello, hello, Punisher. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying to remember what the hell happened last time. Oh, yes, the whole thing about Egbert, motherfucker, that we need to go find and at some point beat the shit out of, right? That's definitely what we're gonna do. Hope so. But hello, welcome back. We're here again in the final episode, or the final trial of the first half of this collection of games. So the first game, whatever. Now, well, as always, I ask the same question: will I remember any voices? The answer is no, I will not. Gina. All right, hey. I already can't read. How are you holding up? I'm starting to feel quite warmly towards your frequent cold shoulders now. Jenny, are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything? She's saying anything. I don't think she has much confidence in us. What's the point, eh? Why all this trouble and fuss so hard? What the likes of me? What? You saw it? A picture? What picture? Ah, you mean this? The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder. Well, I didn't think I would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure. It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, ain't they? Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Surely you gotta have your doubts about me now. Can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. Jenny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Hello, hello, Maya. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all having a great night, great week. Runa's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from you. Yes, please. Talk to your lawyers. Like, for real? Fucking talk to them? It's kind of important for them to know what's going on. Alright, then. We'll have to be out at dinner together at your place, right, Iris? We all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-1, the Winterbank's place. I don't know if Iris' story was there or not. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it's about or nothing. But you ask me, there's something in that Sholmes don't like. Somewhat he don't want people reading. So that's why I lied to Iris about sticking it in a log with the Winterbank for safekeeping. At least, that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Winterbank's? I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all this was gonna kick off, did I? No, I imagine not. It's kind of a surprise when a man ends up dead. I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you like in there. So I gave the order.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Hello, hello, wristwatch. That would have surprised me more if I didn't see it come up in chat before it actually appeared on stream. But thank you for the surprise. I nearly died, I did. And next thing I knew, I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving in the air like, I don't know what. Oh, let's see it. What do you think you're doing? Ha! Okay. Oh, this was all just a moment of confusion. Shit, that all happened. Oh no. It was the most unfortunate of timing in the goddamn world. The moment of surprise when she thought something was going on, and she grabbed up the gun just by pure instinct. Shit.
Oh, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon.
I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The manuscript. The manuscript. Have you got it here? Just shows in a lot of papers with you. A story. I beg your pardon? The Hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see it there. That's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I want to know if Sean's reported it or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Just let me see it and I'll go.
Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you?
The bigger question is how the fuck we're gonna prove this. So in the alcove, unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there, alright. Manuscripts. Sean wasn't lying after all. You did all that just to check for me, Ginny? She's got a softer heart than she would like anyone to believe. Anyway, there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of shop. And the Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes. Right, Skulkins. Weird fellows. What was that noise? Someone's breaking in!
Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about?
I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry.
I'd better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back?
Oh, well, I'll come with you, and...
Now don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstance.
And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back into the shop. So, back in the storeroom, like I said. Straining my ears in the dark to hear what's going on. Sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started thinking I should help, see? So I was just about to go out the storeroom myself, when... I heard a couple of shots go off. Two, I think. Almost at the same time. Yeah, yep, the third gun. And then there it was. Hurt at my feet. I'm face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like. Because you thought whoever shot Mr. Winderbank might come for you? Yeah. So I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Panic, fainting, all that. Winderbank was a goner. Yeah. It's very unfortunate for her that this is not the first dead body she's seen. I felt funny in my head all of a sudden. Kind of dizzy. After that, I don't remember nothing. That must be when you passed out, Gina. If I hadn't done what I'd done, old Cove might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did. They didn't believe a word of it, did they? All that sounded was, and I kept telling lies that'd make things even worse for me. Oh. It'll be alright, Jenny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Brina's about to put the real culprit through the mill. That cove was there in the afternoon. That Egbert Benedict. Oh, that's her smoke gun. It's, basically, she wanted a smoke grenade launcher that was in more colors than just black. Who gave that kid a gun? She built it. Smart kid. Also, be warned, Gina is only 17, but... I still remember how he looked at me. Like I was nothing. Like I was nothing. He was there that night. We have a witness, even if it is the defendant. We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You what? You can leave it on Karina's capable... Take two. You can leave it all in Karina's capable hands now, Jenny. Mr. Naruto? Yes? How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGill we told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with him, even though he was a killer. No, I can never forget that. Oh, I did what I thought was best at the time. But the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. You were? Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. Strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. Oh, yeah, no, the little Irishman, no, he was absolutely a killer, he was. Pack full of lies, the old man was. Piece of shite, if you ask me. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it. Oh, Bruno? But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. My best friend.
Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest.
I was so happy I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute, unwavering belief in him. Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down. There are moments in this game that are much more animated than others, and this is definitely one of those times. Even though I'm a diver, and a no-good liar, you're not like McGilded. I know that. Eh? That's right. You're our friend, Jenny. Iris. We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust. Yep. That's really all we need to know. Exactly. Mr. Naruto,
Venezuela Estrada here, legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Don't yell. We're right here. Having a very somber moment. You don't have to ruin it. I've been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time. So I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last. The final chapter. The final battle. Wish me luck, Sasano-san. I hope you're watching over me too, partner.
You guys fuck!
Oh boy. I mean, they did share a room for, was it a month? Yeah, shared a room for a month, eating dinner tonight every night. You know, on a cruise ship, nowhere else to go. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Steampunk mecha lawyers. We can hit the vampire with that. I'm sure he wouldn't like the steam. Old Bailey courtroom.
I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Van Zandt, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness?
The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, we have Uranus delayed the arrival of his carriage,
I see. Then let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson's presence of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector.
Yes, I can only apologize, my lord.
And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom.
You know what? That's very fair. It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. A very big mistake.
My lord, the subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building. Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay.
Mr. Egbert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon. Certainly not like this.
Oh, there he is. I'm going to give him the most posh actions I can think of.
It's not just the ones who lost to him in court, it's also the ones who died after winning cases against him, because that's just a thing that happens and no one's quite sure how or why. Everyone that goes against him either ends up in jail or dead, so, you know. I mean, a lot of people who ended up jail ended up dying shortly afterwards because, you know, capital punishment and all that.
Thank you for complying with the court subpoena at such short notice, sir.
But yeah, he's got... Oh god, it's the real Flesh Mecha. That's the real Flesh Gundam. Of a bottle of wine! No, it's a full-on Flesh Gundam of corpses, and then he just happens to have one particular... And then he just has, well, I would say, like, a skull for the wine, but at that size, well, depends on how big the Gundam is. Although, actually, a skull would make a terrible, terrible goblet. Just fall straight through. Oh, wait, no, we already read that.
But of course, my lord. As an upstanding member of the London Society, it is my pleasure to oblige.
Wine of the Grim Reaper? I'm gonna go... No, he just looks like Count Dracula. That's it.
Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record. Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer.
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communication Station.
Now perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about.
You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume?
Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at a pawnbroker's on Baker Street. There's some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question.
I'm sorry, my own voice is making me laugh.
What does the accusation mean? This really is beyond a joke, you know. Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
Actually, wait. His name is Ashley Graydon. His name is just Gray. Gray twice. The color... Wait, he's a fucking Ruby character. Fuck. Nope, still hate him. That's easy enough. That's not a bad name for a Ruby character, though, Ashley. Anyways.
I forgot how dramatic this fool was. Gladly, my lord, gladly.
The accusation.
Naturally, I have occasion to make use of the pawnbroking services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting that I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some Scaramouche detective's home rule tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence.
Well, that was short, sweet, to the point, but also...
So, you deny the accusation completely, do you? I must say, I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy.
It was the will of the jury, and the great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld.
Then it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today.
This is not how you get the jury on your side. Grey bitch.
By golly! How long am I expected to be detained, dear? If following cross-examination your involvement in the matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately. Good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at best. At least. Oops. Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, Consul. Proceed with the cross-examination.
So, we meet again, Mr. Egbert Benedict. Or is it Mr. Graydon?
My apologies. You are...
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We've met.
If you say so. Ashley Graydon, enchanté.
Okay, never mind. This voice might actually fit him better than I thought.
So... I trust we can conclude this quickly.
But I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do. There's a candle over there. Candles over there. I will just set this ablaze. Motherfucker just gave me his hat. I feel like he probably shouldn't have done that. Now I want to look inside, see if he's hiding anything in there. Like a rabbit. Or, I don't know, some papers.
Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbroking services from time to time, but are you suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder?
Razor blades. That'd be interesting, certainly.
I don't think I'm admitting. Even if they claim that my blood was found at the scene. So really, a home tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence.
Okay. Small issue. Crap. We don't exactly have a lot to say about this. Crap, this is gonna be an issue. That's all he's going to say on the matter, is it? What do you think, Bruno? I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance he has of giving himself away. Which is very true. The complete opposite of Hurley, then. We seem to think that the more he says, the better. I need to find a way of getting more information out of this man somehow. But compared to the bungling burglars besides him, he seems as innocent as a child. Well, perhaps the Skulkin brothers might be the key, eh? Oh, could they be somehow? Remember, if you don't prove this witness has some connection to the incident here, he'll be free to leave. I know. I can't let that happen. Listen to those statements again. See if there's any way I can make one of them tell us more. That's a good point. The idiots are right there next to him. I can make the idiots talk. Blah blah. Ah, here we go. Let's have some of this. Have you seen these two men before?
This pair? No, I don't associate with criminals.
Said by a man who introduced himself as Egbert Benedict. Ryunosuke makes a good point. Very good point.
I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish...
Yep. That was the entirety of his disguise was Eggs Benedict.
Who made this outlandish accusation against me?
The young lawyer there in the black.
This is a farce. Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court, anyways?
That would be Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. Bitch. My dear bitch. That was his decision.
Well, needless to say...
The brothers had no reaction.
Hold it!
Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Egbert Benedict, I believe.
Objection!
Tell me, what made you... The witness is here to testify about events that took place that night. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions. You can't be serious.
Well, thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question.
So he's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort not to give anything away? This could be tricky. We already pressed on that.
Hold it!
We might as well press everything just to see what the fuck he says. Figure out what's going on here. Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir?
Well, I was past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions.
You're able to prove that?
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friends, for you appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point. What do you mean? The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion. I mean, yeah, like, this isn't obviously, like... And also, he's not a defendant, so he doesn't have to prove his alibi. So, you will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness.
Oh,
A silent victory wiggle. Thanks.
even a certain party has been coming my blood was
Hold it!
Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Shom's chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such.
Oh, but I'm not the only human who have blood running through my veins, am I? I'm gonna be sure that the blood is mine. I could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants.
Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Shom's chemical is able to differentiate different blood samples by...
Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character anyway?
Only the most, like, prolific detective in the city? Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a great, well, a renowned detective. So, even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective.
A great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we? The counsel for the defense thinks a British courtroom is an appropriate place for fairy tales, does he?
This is so unfair. A chemical test is based on soul science. Helly and I know what we're doing. The trouble is, unless the technique can be independently verified, we'll never get beyond this man's flashy stick waving.
Granted, it is a very colorful alchemy. Perhaps we'll make a good souvenir for your uneducated friends back home in the East.
Ew, I hated putting those words out of my mouth. It's a good thing it came out of a voice like that. Something riled him up, just for a moment. Mr. Grading let his feathers get ruffled. Oh yeah, no, there's a decent amount of it in this game, mainly from the vampire over there. But, you know, a bit from other people here and there.
But a souvenir is all it's good for. Some Scaramouche detective homebrew blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Von Zykes, that prosecutor, the vampire dude. Boy, you, ooh. I think it was straight up admitted earlier in this very trial where he just straight up said that he doesn't like the Japanese. Don't forget, sir, that Mr. Herlock Sholmes is the most famous detective in the world. I mean, wait, when did I say that? Wait, what did I say? What words happened? I missed something. What did I say? What did I do? I mean, if you wanted to say that I liked vampires, you should have seen the Witches X Warlocks stream like a couple months ago. But that's neither here nor there. I said that the prosecutor is a vampire and he's a racist. I mean, I do like vampires, but, well, I like a lot of things. Let's put it that way.
The most famous detective in the world tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Well, no, I can't kind of answer that.
I once saw the world's most famous swindler thrown into jail. He allegedly told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but what turned out to be a pack of lies.
This vampire, this guy. Vampire, shuddered at the thought of this guy. Yes, he is a vampire wine waster. It's what he does. Perfect good Merlot, straight to the fire. Also, here's a thing I never noticed before. I've been playing this game for several weeks at this point. Look at that bottle of wine. There's a goddamn Grim Reaper and a scythe on there. I never looked at the design of that wine bottle. Never thought about it. There it is, plain as day.
What? Now, as you are no doubt aware, the Central Communications.
I know what voice I'm doing now. It took me a minute. I realized what I'm doing, what I stole this from. I was like, I feel like I've heard this voice before that I'm doing. It's like, oh, I stole it from Markiplier. That's where it came from. Oops. Oh well.
As you are no doubt aware, the Central Communications Station is the heart of this country's information network.
I mean, they're like size and they have the big, but they have like the big, blade on the back of it as well.
My work there is of paramount importance, and you have kept me from it for long enough already.
Okay, we've already heard all this. Well, here's the problem. I just pressed them on every... Yes, I know they're the key, but I just... Crap, I need to see what... Because they were very good about, you know, having no responses to anything he said at all, which is a problem for me. Let me see what evidence we have. No, not this one. Blood samples, the story manuscript, go into case notes. Today's paper. What was this again? There's more. It's about secret communications between apparently being intercepted. Well, now that's interesting. Why would this be important in our evidence? It didn't have anything to do. I wonder if the mole is dear Mr. Graydon over there. Anyways, moving on. I mean, we have this. This is all we have. I have occasion to make use of the pawnbroking services from time to time. I have no intention of admitting such an even if certain parties are claim that my blood was found at the scene, can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Well, shoot, I might be at a loss here. Mr. Sholmes got shot by the Sculpin brothers. Hardly be taken as evidence. Oh, wait. No, actually, I don't think we have any way of proving it. We have this connection here. Like, I guess looking at the whole thing, maybe, but homebrew teenager can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Evidence that ends up being worthless. Not really. Generally everything has a part to play somewhere. I don't think there's any such thing as worthless evidence. Technically this, just because it's always in your evidence. But other than that, no, everything, there's always something. Appears to have used the back of his photograph to write out a redemption ticket. Turned it very neatly, but still, she ran. It's hard to know what the front and what's the reverse side now. Anyways. Like, there's stuff that only gets used, like, once. Like, these representation papers, I really only needed to show them at one point during the investigation to Gregson so I could look around, but that was it. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna take a risk here. Objection! Mr. Graydon, we have made a very careful analysis here, and among the blood samples in this portfolio is one that matches your blood exactly.
Objection!
My learned friends free to analyze the evidence in any way sees fit, but the court is free to disregard the results. Meaning? As I have said many times already, this detective's plaything has no sway in the courtroom, and his lordship is accordingly on the matter. Right.
This will not do, counsel. The jury will disregard this so-called evidence. Mr. Graydon, please continue with your testimony. Very well.
He was definitely there at the scene that night. I just have to find another way of proving it. Could this prove it? No, there's no... I don't think there's anything here that would really be able to prove it. Because this is after the events that went down. There's this, but rifling isn't a thing yet, so we can't check the guns. Crap. I mean, we do have this, which is the closest thing we have connecting him directly, is that music disc box. Naturally, I have occasionally make use of promo protection at a time when I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder. No just admitting. I mean, of course you don't, then. Yeah. My blood was found at the scene. Harumph. What do you guys think? I must be missing. Am I missing something? Let's just go through the evidence one piece at a time. So we have this pawnbroker's ticket. Just want to make the forms. But we don't necessarily know anything about what this box was about or who it was for. We have change representation papers, which we don't need to worry about. This is a pawnbroker ticket that belonged to. That was on the other side. Wait. we have both of these. But there's also one still in this image. Anyways, right, Mr. Mason, so this is from when, right, this is a ticket that we got, or that Mr. McGilded got when he told the coach driver to go pawn his coat off to Windibank. That's why it has Mason's blood on it. But that doesn't connect to Graydon. This is not going to be usable as evidence right now. This is just Iris' story, kind of the Baskervilles. Then we go to case notes. The papers, which just have got hiccups, that's fine. We can't connect this to him. We have an autopsy report. Crime scene photo, the scene floor plan. Windibank's gun, Skulkin gun. The only things that are different is all of this is slightly shifted, and this is broken. That's the only thing that's different. We have the stereoscope, but this isn't really going to be helpful at the moment. Nothing we can do about that. We have the music disc box, fuck, I hate saying that has his blood on it, that we know is his blood. Because look how sharp that is. That's very sharp. These things are freaking dangerous is what they are. Right here they look a lot more rounded, but then you actually go over here, it's like, oh dear lord. Anyways. Sholmes' pouch where we found the bullet. And the actual third bullet. Blood was found at the scene. What if we present the music box? Nope, that was wrong. We're just gonna skip through all that. I'm just gonna blood was found at the scene. Some scoundrels at home rotation could hardly be taken as serious evidence. Can this be taken as evidence? Objection! I have a feeling this isn't, because he's not damning these things, because that's not very specific. As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pale expression, and your perspiring brow. Huh? It seems to me that is the damning inconsistency here. All curses.
You invited, sir.
Damning indeed. Okay. Okay, I have occasionally make use of pawnbroking services from time to time. Not really anything we can object to there. Are you suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place the night of the murder? I really don't have anything to say to that. Like, no sense of admitting to such an outrageous accusation.
Hold it!
Let me go through this one more time just to make sure that those two didn't react. I mean, they're very good at hiding their... Well, right now anyways. You sly fox bastard, you. I don't know if I have any evidence to actually... Iris, help. Give advice. What do you think? I think he has no attention. find a way to gain more. Perhaps the Skulkin brothers are the key. I've already pressed everything, so we're not getting anything there. We need to get them to talk, them to say something. Doesn't appear to be any identifying features on this. Not much we can really do looking down the barrel of this gun. Yeah. What do you got, Punisher? Let me know, because I'm at a loss. Collude with these thugs. The third bullet, maybe? Objection! This isn't gonna help. Nope. I'm running out of lives. Oh no. Oh no. My credibility as a lawyer is slipping quickly. I need such an immersion. Mr. Spiffy. Check the blood dot. Objection! We haven't done this in particular. Wait, no, and among the blood samples.
Objection!
I think there was another dialogue or something. I don't know. But the course free disregard. Right, yeah. I was thinking about that too. If I ask about that, about evidence. Positive identity as such, I'm not the only human. Blood. So that the blood is mine. The blood, at least. No one else is reacting. Oh, crap, you're right. I am just stupid blind. I love that for me. I love being blind and stupid. You have something to say, Mr.
Excuse
Mayor?
me.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? What? Me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you. Right, I've had enough to deal with this. How many times have I got to tell you? Yes, I know. You're not Big Bruv Skulky. Gregson, you're not part of this. Mr. Nash Skulkin. Cold blood, Governor. What? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court? I was about to say with the class. My thoughts? I don't have none of them. Must have been him. You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke?
Look, honest, God, nothing. I was just thinking. If he wears his arm around that much more, he'll open up the wound again, that's all.
I love us dealing with these buffoons. I love these fools. I love them so dearly. One moment, I appear to have gotten a message. Yeah, no, he's a he's a moron, but we're here for it, you know. Waluigi number one. Waluigi, a bit of an idiot. Oh, hold on, I have a message to respond to real fast. What wound? I took the bullet. I couldn't even start reading it without laughing. Well, I took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. I ain't gonna be healed up yet. I was, you know, I was waiting for him. Oh, hell's bells. Mr. Graydon, did you hear that?
What?
What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. I love adding, like, I know that he does not have this level of sass, but I have this level of sass and I need to put it out there. Comrade's worried about you, it seems, on account of your injured arm.
My lord? Yes, Mr. Graydon. I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about.
Technically, it's just the one wretch.
Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to the mindless insinuations.
We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts.
Perhaps you...
Wait, nope, I was thinking of his voice. Perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir? The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand, as if in pain. Yep, the poor calendar.
No, I refuse.
Excuse me?
You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves.
Except for the fact that the idiots just fucking never... I'm pretty sure we just had, like, that was pretty good evidence right there of the idiot saying that out loud.
Accordingly, I'm not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy.
I don't know, I feel like at this point the jury will be like, no, let's see the arm.
As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbroker where this fellow was killed whatsoever.
Now that we know is a damn lie.
I take offense to the insinuation that I was in any way involved. You claim to have had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery.
My lord, the defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony.
Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon. Harumph, I say. The bottom line is, I've never had anything to do with the pawnbroking establishment where that man was killed.
Objection! I didn't even have to think about that one. Not at all. Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon?
Why? It is supposed to mean something.
Do you just have a twin running about? Is that the issue here? This disc was, until the day of his murder, in pawn in Mr. Winterbank's shop. Sorry, responding to a message that I should have responded to before. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Alright, we should be good now. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try to take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon?
As I've reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life.
It may have escaped your notice, but there's a small smear of blood on the disc.
Oh yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps.
Also, hold on. This fucking guy is trying to be,
I've never been in that pawnbroker in my life. I have no idea what that disc is that you're talking about.
when literally the man next to him was there when this was happening. Like, maybe not for the whole ordeal, but he was there in the pawnbroker when he cut it, like, he was there. That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. Those are not bumps, by the way. When we looked at that, those were pins. Those were needles. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of this smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
Good gracious, indeed it must.
Mr. Graydon, you refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Surely you can remove your glove for a mere moment. Show the court that you have nothing to hide, that there is no injury whatsoever on your hand, and you can go home. Because I have no doubt about it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc.
Well. It would seem I underestimated you. What is the meaning of this?
Oh yeah, just take the whole thing. Like, get some... this is, like, early 1900s, late 1800s, London. I'm sure you can, saw the thumb off and then just, like, stitch another one on. No problem.
What is the meaning of this?
So you admit it now? You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendants? The reason why this is important...
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Graydon. It would appear there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc as you put it. No, quite the reverse.
What are you trying to say?
It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset.
Once again, I have to reiterate. She was there first. She was able to give all the information necessary to redeem the artifact, to redeem the object into her possession. And then you just, like, regurgitated that information when it was already written down there in front of you. Like, fuck. Annoying as shit.
Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of pawn?
No, because that's not the issue here. He's sidestepping.
It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now.
Thank you, Von Zykes, for being helpful for one of the rare times, one of the rare moments of helpfulness, and I appreciate that.
As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder.
The disc.
There's a note on the disc saying, "For McGilded, but the item belongs to me." The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy guttling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night. Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you say? That famous London philanthropist? Who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder.
Place your arm with the cat's arm. I mean, you're gonna be very lopsided there, wristwatch. You're gonna be it'd also be very difficult to wear a watch, but
Yes, my lord, the one and the same. Good lord, Mr. Graydon, are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted? Yes, that's correct. Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear that name when I was here in my courtroom again.
I did. According to what Gina told us, this disc was placed in pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. McGilded himself gave instructions to deposit at Windibanks. It's funny that Mr. Graydon here has claimed the disc belongs to him then, isn't it? In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon in Windibanks in order to get his hand on McGilded's disc for some reason. That's actually a good question. If it's a tiger arm or like a lion arm, it actually have some nice reach on it, although you can't, you know, do anything much with it other than, like, well, I mean, I can claw at you if I really want to, but that's about all I got.
Consul, you will come into a cross-examination, please.
Quick water break.
Hold it!
Would you care to explain how this belongs to you?
As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary.
An Anthro Bombay cat?
You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir. So you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse while on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question.
You claim that was your overcoat? The one that definitely did not fit you?
Obviously, and in my haste I clean forgot that the music box disc was in its pocket.
Yet, there is a note on it that reads, for McGilded.
I'm a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city and was interested to discover that he shared my penchant in that area. So,
Hold on. Voice switching.
So, the disc in question is a pre-production sample. I promise to let Mr. McGilded hear it.
The thing you forgot that there's in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn.
Yes, exactly.
She didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she? No, because McGilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury. Oh dear, it's complicated, isn't it? Let's leave it alone for the time being. Yeah, we need to handle this very delicately.
You're stolen from me.
Hold it!
Fine lying-ass bitch. So you're saying that Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag?
That's right. Despite being mindful of danger and walking in the insalubrious areas of her kind frequent.
Objection!
Miss Lestrade did no such thing.
Well, of course, she would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender.
You came to the pawnbroker that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hand on Mr. McGilded's disc.
Objection!
My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense. Nonsense?
I concur with the prosecution. Consul, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
Oh, cha-cha-cha. Tisk-tisk. Then I will continue with my testimony for what possible use it can be. Gina, what's your shopper to explain?
Hold it!
Here's the thing, you had that thing for 2 fucking months. Why didn't you not get it earlier? Had you ever been to Windibanks before?
Only once for the purpose of pawning something. But, like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments.
So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken her ticket, you chased after her. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I didn't notice at first, of course, such as the odds of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery at once, in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely just trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place.
You can see what he likes because we know we have no evidence to contradict him on this. Except for a fact she knew the code word. I mean, yes, there's really no. Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it?
That's right. This was the very man. Apparently the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded.
Is that right?
As evidence.
Excuse me!
Is something wrong, Inspector? What do you mean? The last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way.
Eh? No, I didn't. It's not. Leave it alone.
Oh, let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilda's possessions?
I can't tell you something like that, sunshine.
What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no, hold on.
Did you know all about that? There it is.
Magnus McGilda, who died so unexpectedly, says the Reaper of the Bailey, after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet, he had a dark side too.
Where you going with this, Von Zax?
I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, aren't they?
That's enough. Government like me have duties to carry out. That's what we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know.
Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector.
The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're going to need Lord Strongheart's paw print first.
What's all this about? So here's the problem. We would love to play this disc. However, at this point in time, the way that the discs are made, and more specifically the way the music boxes are played, is all of them work a little bit differently. They all have their pins and their stuff in different locations and in different configurations for different notes, which means that every disc, unfortunately, only works with a specific type of music box because the disc is matched to the box that's been manufactured. So it only works with certain brands, and there's hundreds of them across Europe. So we would love to play the disc, and we probably will at some point. Yeah, what we need to find is if Mr. McGilded had a music box in his home. That's what I'm suspecting, because if he does, it probably goes to that box. It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zykes here.
Well, it would appear that the inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal.
The problem is, we can only talk to Mr. Graydon at the moment. We need, unless Gregson says something that's added as formal testimony, we can't necessarily talk to him directly.
Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Gladly, no, wrong voice.
Gladly, my lord. There it is. This posh and very ridiculous voice here. You have no idea how wide my mouth is going at every point. It's very funny. In other words, I had no reason to break into it that night.
Perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items?
No, not at all.
Oh. A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. With that exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. It's very interesting to hear a man that has this voice say bric-a-brac. In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilda's. Except we know that that's already not true.
Have you not been listening, man? Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that had been seized by the police that afternoon. There was no more in the shop that night than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in.
So there's nothing in McGilda's left in the shop that night. Nothing this man might have been after. I wonder if that's really true. Reno, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble. Ain't that the truth? McGilda slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Windibanks. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket. There's no doubt about it. Thomas is lying through his pearly white teeth. The police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilda as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day. But Greg's even being very strange about all this. There's be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony. We'll ask about the music box just later. Oh. This, of course, duh, yes. Oh, how I know he's a lying bitch. I got it. Duh. The ticket. The redemption ticket. It was the night of Mason's murder. It has blood on it. It has Mason's. And it has the time, too. It has the date and the time. It was Mason's murder. It has Mason's blood on it, which that part we can't technically prove because it's in the blood portfolio, which they've already thrown out as evidence. But, regardless, the date, the time, the blood, we know that he couldn't. Well, shit, actually, no. No, it's the blood. Damn it. No, we still can't actually prove that because we can't prove that it belonged to Mr. McGilded. Shit. The blood is the only thing we have on it that's proof. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. I think I can still use that to prove it. I think it... I almost feel like I should actually be finding something wrong about this. But I don't know if I have any evidence for that specifically. So instead, we'll go over here. And I went too far. I needed to go this way.
Objection!
Let us consider the implication of that statement for a moment, shall we? Alright, use the symbol of 3 balls to show... Oh, actually, that was something that was mentioned earlier in this very episode. Here in this case. I think that was just a random sign. I don't know if we have anywhere to show that. Here. Yeah, we don't, but that's fine.
What implications, Consul? Nothing strikes me about it.
No, that's wrong. That's incorrect. Ah, shoot. Crap. We're actually very low. Shit, I thought that was actually clever of me. Alright, shit. Curses! This is the ticket for the coat. 2 days before was the box, right? Oh, this. Maybe. This might be the evidence? He's looking for the box? I'm just gonna give it a shot because I think that's right. We need to prove that he had another reason to be in there, and it had to be for this. Right, because this was also in the coat. I forgot about that. This disc was deposited at Windibanks on Magnus McGilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again, and in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night. Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true. What? Mr. McGilded had another article in pawn at Windibanks. You know, that's not a bad idea. On over here, wanker. Don't you admit the steal of my blade. As this second pawnbroker's ticket proves. Let's go ahead and another article. There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGilded in Windibanks pawnbrokery. And the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers. This is the second ticket, is it? What the man deposited? The article description reads,
One small box.
Well, a vague description, it seems to me. Are you suggesting that I broke it? Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbroker with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box?
Unfortunately, no, not the music box. It says a small box. The music boxes are big. They're big. It ain't a CD player. It's a big old box. I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did.
This is absurd. Why on earth will I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft.
That's a good point.
Indeed, the witness makes a solid argument.
So that means that for some reason, this Cranen fell into the small box that very night, does it?
Objection!
It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord.
Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zykes?
I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Windibank's pawnbrokery. Because he didn't find it. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it. Yeah, it just means he didn't fucking find it, my dude. What?
Good gracious!
Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court, if you please.
Sir.
What prints?
These prints were taken from one of the detective security cameras.
Ah, and his right-hander records again. As previously explained using this plan in the shop layout. The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Windibank received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited.
According to the information on this ticket, the small box had been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident at 9 PM on 13th April to be precise, which means it would have been on the shelves of forfeited items in the shop front. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident, at 11 PM on 15th April. The victim certainly had a very full shop print, it would appear. And then here we have another print. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. I see. I see. So we have 2 pictures to compare.
That's it, that was the wrong voice.
Well, I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold.
Once again, we're using the stereoscope. Yep, thank you, wristwatch. You were reading my mind. But just even before that, let me see. Let's see if we can find anything out of place. Shit, I don't see anything out of place. Huh, that's a problem.
Leaves me cold. Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache. Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we consider theft as one possible motive in this case. We explore the possibility that someone had been taken in addition to the victim's life. So your men have already compared these 2 prints thoroughly, Inspector? Yes, sir. Counting every single item in each of these 2 photographic prints. And the yard's conclusion is not exactly the same number of present input.
That's a very specific clue there. It means which means something's definitely changed. Something has definitely changed. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question, and my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy. No, hold on, don't scream just yet. I have an idea. I don't believe it. If I could have just shown that he'd stolen McGilded's pawn box. The box on the lower right was moved. Well, damn it, now I need to see the pictures again, but hopefully they'll end up in evidence in a moment. I might have been able to break him down at last. You know what, Bruno? I've been thinking. Here we go. I wonder if these two photographs really are exactly the same. You're right, wristwatch. Down there in the bottom, next to the music box, no, next to that stereoscope there. On the far, wait, actually, I can't show this anywhere. But, I see what you're talking about. There's a little black box on the shelf. Yeah, bottom row, far right in front of a picture frame. It got moved over to the right. It got shifted. It's different. What?
So, counsel, in the light of the evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position?
I was doing the stupid war stash one.
It seems that, in fact, on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment.
Unless something was taken out of a box. Out of the box. Out of the box.
Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
I don't know. Could there be some hidden discrepancy in these two photographic prints somewhere? Point out a discrepancy. I wasn't sure at first, but there's a clear discrepancy between these two prints.
What?
What? Wait, no, hold on. What?
You must identify the location in question for the court, counsel. Indicate the precise location and the discrepancy of which you speak.
Why, my lord. It'll be right there. Granted, these two prints are almost identical. Almost. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them.
What?
It's because we're already used to looking at this when we have two photographs. When you view the two pictures stereoscopically, a single area stands out as being different. The location of this small box. Let me... wait. Unbelievable. I love seeing him on Zeiss with the stupid stereoscope on it, so...
Jove, you're right. Extraordinary.
I love all of them crossing their eyes to see this. Like, I've tried that a few times, but the game doesn't actually put them at a distance where you can do it. So, what this tells us is very simple. Mr. McGilda's small box was indeed not stolen from Windibanks on the night in question. However, there should be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelves.
Are you suggesting that small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilda is, in fact...
Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints!
Objection!
Mindless guesswork. What if it was? So the box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which... Hold on. Are you a fucking idiot? It's a box. You can open the goddamn box. There could be stuff in the box. You pull stuff out of the box. You put the lid back on the box. You leave with the thing that was in the box. No one knows that you stole what was in the box. Fucking idiot. Which means quite simply that nothing has changed. That may be true, but... Alright, McGilda's box wasn't stolen. But doesn't the fact that it was moved like that change things? It changes everything. Everything is different now. I believe this changes everything about the case. How can that possibly be? The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box. What are you suggesting? On you, Mr. Egg Bitch. I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks as we speak.
Objection!
Box. That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant in this trial.
The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Zykes.
Oh, also, I should mention real fast to both of you, to both you and Maya and Wristwatch, sorry, and Puncher if they're still here. The first emote has been approved finally. I don't know how long it'll stay. It's more just like, this was a simple idea that I had, and it was funny, and I can mess with Kaden with it. And more are on the way. It's just a matter of need to work on stuff. The drawing is hard. But anyways, yeah, I almost forgot about that. I finally got approved today.
The court does not uphold your objection. Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once. Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination.
So you can bet whenever, like, Kaden... you were given one by, I believe by Maya when I finished Elden Ring last week. Yeah, Maya gifted out 5 gift subs. And you got one of them. Congratulations.
Bring it back here for further examination.
Yeah, whisked it. Well, I specifically have the notes of who gave who. But yeah. Yeah, because you, Wristwatch, got yours from Wisp. Now, waiting for the small box. What's in the box? Or better yet, what's not in the box? No, you're fine.
We should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth.
To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing. Motherfucker, this a court of law? People's lives are on the line? A man is dead? We need to explore every possible avenue here. It's very important.
I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zykes.
This is nothing but a smokescreen. A Nipponese specialty, it would seem. What are you trying to say? My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. This witness's intent was to see an article belonging to Mr. McGildy from the pawnbrokery. Excuse me. Who allowed a robot to sneeze? So, some dust up in my... Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Dust up in the fans. Had to get rid of it. Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place.
Exactly.
Oops, wrong button. Or accidental button press.
It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property.
We don't know what was in the box. We don't know what it was. How can you claim that? Haven't seen that in a bit, have we? Also that, you never know what could be there. If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGildy perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which he was established he was the upstanding member of society as a reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast. To my learned friend and his most insightful defense. You son of a bitch.
The articles his upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary.
We don't know that.
A black overcoat that just so happened to have a music box in one of its pockets and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make such a gift of such things to me.
I hate you. I hate you. Burn in hell. I forgot that we had a goddamn Russian revolutionary on the jury. I forgot about him. Sorry. It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its arguments. To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have.
Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable? Are you able to show proof that the disc or the box are in any tangible way related to this case?
Oh yeah, a lot. So much waste. Constant. Never ending. There's a stain underneath that candelabra. Well, what's the matter, Reno? We know that they're related, don't we? We have vital pieces of evidence. Yes, of course. You and I both know that. We know Megilda's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that Megilda's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. The defense's argument was flawed, based on false information. Oh no. And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury. Like, just admitting, hey, I was wrong as a defense lawyer, that's one thing. Admitting, hey, my friend and defendant over there committed goddamn perjury? No, that's a bit more of an issue. I don't want to do that. But Jenny, could it be that Van Zykes knows? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything? But maybe this could be a great opportunity for us. Sorry? What do you mean, Iris? Well, what is it you always say, Reno? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time. Alright. The exact significance of the things that Megilda deposited when we went to bank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here? The problem is, it's between being tried for perjury and being tried for, murder. Both are bad. But we need her up here. My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal.
Oh? What proposal, counsel?
While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. Megilda's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand.
The defendant? To what end?
It's to do with the various articles deposited at Windibanks by Mr. Megilda, my lord. Miss Lestrade's information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all.
Well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused standing, and indeed your own.
I have. But here, this is like a real test of character here as a lawyer, specifically to own up to the fact that, hey, I got a murderer off free by accident? Because I didn't know back then. Oops. A little bit of an oops.
Lord Van Zykes, would you care to explain that last remark?
The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. Oh, this son of a bitch. You absolute bastard. Hold on. You sneaky ass motherfucker. I hate you, you racist fuck. Okay. He was prepared for this. I think that he was, in part, hoping this would happen. Like, if it didn't, that's fine. He doesn't know, I don't know how much he actually cares. But I think he knows the truth. I think he knows that Megilda was guilty. And we got him off, we got him off. Free. We got him off free. We did, curse the English language. Got those Irishmen off, didn't we? I hate everything about my brain right now. Maybe Keaton's right. Maybe I am worse than her. Anyways, so he was ready for this to happen. He wanted, in the courts, to be proven that Megilda was a murderer, and this is the only way to do it: is to get to the point to prove the connection between Megilda and these articles. But I don't know that for sure, because he seemed genuinely surprised to see that the small box was moved. That either he planned this, A, he planned this, B, he he saw this opportunity and he's taking it. Or what was C? I had 3 options. What were they? He planned this. He didn't plan it, but he's taking an opportunity of it. Or no, I guess those are the only 2 options. I don't know. I moved to. Oh, okay, hold on.
Very well. If you have no objection.
The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself.
So, the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Technically, like, you really should be getting the defendant's testimony. Oh, actually, I guess 5th Amendment, you don't. They have a right to remain silent. They can choose not to testify if they want to.
You witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice. Oh, I forgot about this. Then I shall bid you good day.
Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Mr. Strut testifies.
As you wish.
Hello, hello, Wings of Ash. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to lawyering school. It sucks. Alright then, Gina, it's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here. Good luck, Reno. Well, welcome to Episode 5, The Great Ace Attorney Adventures, which is the first of 2 games in The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Windibank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes, and I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well.
That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded. The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now here we all are again. The same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps, my Nipponi's friend. Yeah, that's fine. Always happy to have you. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilded died in this very courtroom, in the most extraordinary circumstances. A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on. As indeed as the omnibus murder itself.
Be that as it may, I recall neither this nor the small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings.
Miss Lestrade, would you tell the court now, please, what really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago? I mean, I don't know what you mean. I already said all what I know. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade, this is extremely important. But remember the girl. If it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, your morphos will seek to prosecute you for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts, you have little credibility to lose. Jenny, don't listen to him. Please, you have to trust Reno now. Iris, we're on your side. What? Alright then. I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it seemed that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it. I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGillicuddy's pawned articles in that extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware.
Getting too much into that super posh motherfucker.
So, Mr. Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements.
This is it then. Everything's going to come out. Like Von Zych said, this could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. So, wait. We call this witness. Is the prosecution not going to cross-examine her? What are we going to have to cross-examine if she's just telling the truth? Truth is, that brickmaker cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over my head, and that pair on the roof deck went off to call the slops. That's when McGillis set the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. Threatened me not to stitch. Say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard.
Good grief, this is outrageous. What you have told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago.
As you say, my lord.
Then there's every chance. You may have adjudicated an error in McGillicuddy's trial. Sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes.
Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in the trial, of this witness, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable, except for the— Hey, hold the phone. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know any of that. Fuck you. I was in the dark. I claim ignorance. Ignorance is the truth. You, my dear friend, overestimate me, for I am an idiot. I don't believe it. The whole trial was a farce. It was all lies. The other fellow was rotten for the court, just like that pickpocket. To forget that lawyer from the east. All in it together. You're wrong. The lawyer, Mr. Naruto, the lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it. Hup. I don't think so. I really expected to believe that.
Oh, really? It's just everyone up to it, eh? What's an operation to get the man off scot-free?
Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. I have to stop. Stop. Yes. The defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony, because the true significance of McGillicuddy's pawned articles must be brought to light.
Very well, my learned student friend. Even the depths of calamity you've just plunged yourself into is maybe well worth hearing. Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable.
Welcome to the justice system, I guess? Hi, welcome to the courts? This happens all the time, I'm sure, and you're just not made aware of it. Congratulations. Yay for the justice system.
Mr. Naruto,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. Blimey, Mr. Naruto.
Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
I don't have anything to cross-examine, other than to make her elaborate. Like, that's all we're doing. Brickmaker was in the cabin. Blah. Person dragged me out from under the seat, and I saw that disc on the floor.
Hold it!
Was the disc you saw this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the cove lying on the floor.
Does this disc belong to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know. But McGillicuddy picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat there with... Then he sat the cove with the knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at the time? He told me not to say a word about what I'd seen or heard to no one. About the disc and all. I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. They started asking me a lot of questions. What my name was and where I lived and that. Asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed. Was noticed? Yeah, that's right. Because there's kind of rapping noise. All of a sudden, I heard a scream of a man. It was called the sloth.
Hold it!
There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in his guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and McGilda got me outside.
Out of sight. Where?
Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came in, two cows from the roof ran off to fetch the slops. If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident. So that left McGilda, the driver, and you still at the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes. He also testified in this trial, I believe. A fellow who went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves.
Poor old carrot nose. Always so cold looking, that fellow. What did McGilda and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happens and stuff like that, mainly. That's when McGilda set the driver's intent to do a run to the pawn shop round bound.
Hold it!
That pawn shop obviously being Windibanks on Baker Street.
Just a moment, Consul. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well?
Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand.
Indeed, Lord Van Zykes.
McGilda took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all careful like, folding it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it is gotta be worth a few bob. Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price of it that afternoon at the pawnbrokery. Driver looked pretty happy when McGilda flashed some brass in his face. They were running off on a lick. Then the boxer called to me and told me to come out from the down's cabin. Threatened me not to snitch, and to say nothing to no one about nothing I heard or seen. Threatened you how, exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scarp her if I did exactly what I said. Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago. Yeah, that's it. There was one other thing he said. Which was... He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop, and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
So that if it didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug, to stop it being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
But really, why on earth would Mr. McGilda have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with the pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGilda had the driver deposit at Windibanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that, it let me go. So I legged it before the coppers showed up. Well done, Gina. It can't have been easy to tell the truth like that. Ginny's really putting her faith in you, Reno. Yes, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over. So I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible. So I'm gonna really go for it. Press her on every statement. I suppose I should. Oh, and another thing. What's that? Take a look at those two. Isn't it strange they've been whispering to each other the entire time? Yes, that is strange. It looks like they're having a secret discussion about something. Yeah, I thought I saw that he was looking away from her, but I didn't realize Gregson was turned away too. Interesting, very interesting. I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I can do about it. omnibus the whole time. And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mr. Strahd? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats. Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all.
Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed Miss McGilden was the sole passenger, did you not?
False testimony, my lord. That's what he told me I had to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Miss McGilden and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot.
What were they talking about?
Well, I couldn't hear too well. But I had to say, I think it was about money or something. Kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind.
Well, anyway, it got louder and louder. Started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. All I dared to breathe. And then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all.
And I believe you let out an involuntary scream.
Yeah. That's what gave me away.
Hold it!
Oh wait, nope, we already did this one. Oh god, so much information. That one. Okay, we pressed her on everything. Are we good? Well done. Pressed her on everything. I did. What did I think? Oh right, we need to get those two to converse with us. Forgot about that part. Water rate real fast. Let's see here.
Hold it!
Let's press on everything again just to try and pull those two up. Come on, give me something to work with here.
Hold it!
Actually, I feel like this one's probably not actually gonna be super helpful, but that's fine. We're doing it all anyways. I really wish. The problem is, if I pursue them now, I'm worried that that'll.
Excuse me!
We'll see if that. Is there something you'd like to share with the courts, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector! Mr. Graydon!
Ah!
Blimey! You're trying to give me a heart attack? You've been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about?
Discussion? Look at this fella. Bully the other one, sunshine. You know, got anything to talk about with a shady shit like this. And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine.
Gregson, please don't be an asshole. Please, just... please? But they've clearly been talking the entire time into cross-examining Gina. I said they've been negotiating.
Well, thank you, Mr. Strahd. Thank you, Counsel. I've had enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus.
It would appear that on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, Miguel took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point! The disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. though I don't understand why as yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, Miguel's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, Cove died right after his trial. I knew that. So you decided to try to claim the articles as your own. Well, why not, eh? They're only gonna be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
Mr. Straw, it would appear Mr. McGilder was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be?
Eh? I ain't got a clue. Well, I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. It's probably gonna sell it. You can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime.
My lord! Wait, no. My lord! The evidence your lordship requested has been located as ready for the court inspection, sir.
Box. What's in the box? What's in that box? The mysterious little box deposited by McGilda 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that is a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle.
To be continued here in just a moment.
Save your current progress. The box has been brought to the court. So let's see what might be so special about it. The answer is probably nothing, because what's inside is probably gone. But we have it. And it's bigger than I thought it was.
So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilder 2 months ago.
Next! Wait, no, hold on. What was that voice?
Next time on Dragon Ball Akamaru. Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. I don't know, some voice like that. The pawnbroker and Mr. McGilda, and on the night of Mr. Windibank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Hold on. I guess I need oh, thank you. Quick, quick, let's open it and see what's inside. Hello? Hello? There's nothing that's... It's not a container. It is a music box. You were right.
Good gracious! This is no ordinary box, it seems.
Wait. But then why was it... But, if that's the case, why was it still there? Why was it not taken out? Why was it not actually... Wow! Hold on, truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Which is a bit of a shock, which I think it's a shock to them as well, because... Like, a lot of the music box... I don't know how big the music box players we've seen. I didn't expect them to be that small.
But is it too much to expect?
I think it would be reasonable to assume that this is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord.
So, here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilder's disc, deposited at Windibank's at much the same time.
Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not Miguel's disc. It was the disc of his victim, the omnibus.
But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilder?
I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord.
Yes, very well. Will the court now listen to this curious disc at last?
Hold it!
Wait, my lord? Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The music box disc and the disc got Well, they're unrelated to the case. Gregson, you've been such a friend since we made it to Britain. More or less, you've been such a friend. To us, especially thanks to Iris. Don't do this to me. Don't make me throw you down the gutter.
No need to spoil a somber atmosphere in the chorus. I'm sitting a bit of music.
Objection!
I don't think Gregson did it. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understand what's happened.
The prosecution has no objection. But no, a piece of evidence has police property.
Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of these prosecutors to leave no avenues unexplored. I find that hard to believe, you son of a bitch, considering you constantly knock down my plans to explore other avenues and to call it nonsense and hogwash, blah, blah, blah. And then I come up like, evidence, bitch, fuck you. We should have explored, let's explore this further. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening.
Ah,
I don't know how to scream.
no further delays. Please play the disc. Play the disc.
Here we go. Shit. Please tell me. It's Morse code! It's fucking Morse code! And guess fucking what? Oh, who do we have in the jury today if not a woman who's been typing in Morse code this whole damn time? This whole trial, we have the Morse code lady wristwatch. We do indeed. We do indeed. For a second, I was really confused. Like, maybe we need to wait for a second, and then it's about the spaces in between. It's not the notes itself. It's the spaces between the music. That's where your Morse code is.
What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in a regular sequence.
Mr. Graydon? This really is priceless. After all that, the music box is broken.
Broken? It can't be, can it?
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it and drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, with much regret.
No! I know what it is! Motherfucker, I know what this is!
I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues.
Van Zykes, please, tell me you saw it too.
Are you ready to move on, Constable?
He knows that it's Morse code. He works at a communications office. He knows what it is. He knows what it's saying. But he's diverting. Come on. Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? I believe that could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, Constable. Mere noise. I fail to see how I have any meaning whatsoever.
It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. As if Gregson recognizes the sound. As if he's familiar with it somehow. This is exactly what I thought it was. The communications mole. Information being intercepted on its way to our allies. It's not on... I think Van Zykes probably thinks that it's on the Japanese side that there's a mole, but no. There's a mole on this side. And it's this motherfucker right there. and that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponi's friend, answer me this. Oh. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? Is the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is not supposed to be music? Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sound we're hearing are music. The sounds we're hearing are music. Grady knows that we've caught on to him. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Making deductions based on people react to what you say. You're acting just like earlier, Reno.
Objection!
The sound we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, not sure if it told us what they are or not. I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponi's friend. Well, surely you have an idea in mind. Because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument. The problem is, like, the Morse code lady can't just interject because she's on the jury. Oh, no, they've interjected before. Fuck that. She very much could just be like... But she's also on her own Morse code, and she might not realize it.
Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
Do I talk too fast? They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. No. I'll just examine the music box very thoroughly. I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really? How did you do that so fast? Oh, you're a genius. You're a 10-year-old PhD haver. You have, like, what, a doctorate, 2 doctorates? I don't remember. Really? The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Oh, thank you, Iris. It can only produce a single note anyways. Alright. Well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sound it's producing has some significance that isn't musical. Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Something's just struck me, Reno. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like this one this music box makes. I think you're right. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing.
I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, counsel?
All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponi's friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. Alright then. Oh, this could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sound of this music box disc is... Shit. Oh, wait, no. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can do this. Please work.
Take that!
Today's paper, counsel. The headline is Pawnbroker perishes and pick up purse plunder. Highly supportive of your cause.
No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page.
Further down. Ministry Mall. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries.
And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams?
Of course.
Juror number 5, your input, please. Stop. Oh, me, sir. Whatever is the matter? Oh, she hasn't been listening. She hasn't heard the Morse code coming from the box yet. You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. On the particular station where you work, deals with government communications and newspaper reports? Oh, yes. We're not sure a run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. But I don't believe it. Guilty. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there can be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. What are you suggesting the music box of this contains stolen government secrets and Morse code? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Order! Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment.
Let's go! Now, back to the Russian revolutionary we have here. What was his name? No, too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I'd half expect you to know. The secret recipe to the Krabby Patty? We need to get that disc. I want to eat that patty.
For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGillet perished, and the all-important disc they unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry, because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it, and in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilden would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon?
You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. You've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
I'm purposely kind of doing a thing. Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense.
Delighted, I'm sure.
You ever just curl your lips super far, like way down?
The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. That being a most flagitious.
Flagitious? The fuck is this word? Hold on. What the fuck is this word? Hold on, I can figure it out. If I figure it out, I mean... Flagitious. Criminal, villainous.
Flagitious.
Flagitious?
Most flagitious offence, for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime.
I'm pretty sure it's a... Well, you're right, it's no less serious. We're just gonna leave it at that. There you go. And Caden has posted the... all the information. Hydrate? Yes, that's a good idea. Caden has posted all the information for the subathon next week. Very exciting indeed. Very good. All of our incentives and the games we'll be playing. Good times, good times. Okay.
I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon.
Hold it!
It sounds a little bit... The Skulkin brothers.
You guys have a rather important governor. You got things to say. I beg your pardon.
Meat explosion does not... It sounds a little weird. But also, we're stacking up a lot of stuff to toss, and it's very fun. You know some of that stuff I was making yesterday on stream, if any of you were here for that? Some of that.
Beg your pardon? Who do you think you are? There's not Skulkin. Occupation is professional body.
Name's Ringo Skulkin. I ain't bad enough to sell out our motherland.
What's that? What do they call? The Three Skulkin Brothers.
And poor Gregson is still stuck in this.
But, hold on. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing.
Nope, that was way more Scottish than I originally had him. Or did I originally have him very Scottish and I just lost that over time? I don't remember.
Mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by the music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with Gilded Anywhere, was it not? I've no relation to the man. All he done is break into the golf the other night like what he told us to do.
If we known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. So, okay, hold on, let me get this right. Those two are very easily admitting to the fact that he was definitely there the night that Windabank died. Windabank. I don't know why I was mixing up Windabank and Pawnbroker. Windabroker. Mr. Windy. Poor Mr. Windy. He shall be missed. He was a good fella. Anyways, words. Yes, they're straight up admitting to he was there. I was kind of like, look, this trial that we're here for right now is a murder trial. It's very fun that they're trying to make sure that he doesn't, get caught for high treason. But boy, they're certainly helping our case. Everyone is so... I'm glad that everyone else is just as stunned into silence as I am. I haven't decided if I like that throne message there or not. I think I do. It's funny. But I'm also just like, it makes it sound like I'm trying to take over the world or something. I'm definitely not trying to do that. But anyways. Back to this.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Well, Mr. Dear Governor, what's up?
Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And moreover, you did so as party of three in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here?
Slowly conform to robot society. Look, all you need is, help out the robot army a little bit, maybe get some cybernetic implants at some point, you'll all be fine. No one will come for you. I promise. We did, Gov, we did. Okay, yeah,
Quiet down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to.
You little rotter, getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. I was supposed to be a straight-up job. Oh, I actually didn't see that. And what about the keys this shopper was, eh? Poor bloke didn't have to die, did he? Okay, we just had confirmation. Can we end the trial now? Just like, put this motherfucker on trial for his thing. That's fine. I don't care. Gina, you're good. You're free to go. We're good. Fucking idiots.
Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations. indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence.
The small music box has been entered into the court record. Did I say AdMech? Wait, what happened? What did I say? What words came out of my mouth incorrectly? Because I don't remember saying AdMech. My microphone's not popping and cutting out, is it? I'm very lost. A 40K reference? Okay, so we have a... Oh. Martians that have a steampunk robotic vibe. Oh, okay. There we go. That's where my confusion was. I didn't say AdMech. You guys just brought the 40K to me. That's fine. I'll play one day. But who knows when. Okay, a mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. We're just gonna press him on shit, figure out what he's saying. So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted?
How could I possibly know?
What do you mean by that?
Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff on the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information.
Doesn't mean you didn't steal it. Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop. Let me guess. Juror number 5, come on down. Juror number 5. We regular communication station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. Tabletop has a mod to try it out? Ooh. That's actually not a bad idea. I can at least look at it. Okay, I understand now. There's Warhammer 40K in Tabletop Sim? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Something to look into later. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the Ministry. Yeah, go ahead and DM that to me. I was just gonna look at the Steam Workshop, but who knows if it's there or not. That's fascinating. Oh, wait, what did she say? And Mr. Great. Oh, I missed that one. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the Ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. It's fascinating. Graydon is a highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop. Currently in presence of... What was her voice before? Guilty. I think her voice was more like this.
So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon? Well, what evidence? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are sent in cipher. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them.
Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with Ministry technicians and the Ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communication. This man committing all the perjury in the world in front of someone who's just calling him out on his fucking shit. And he's received the top prize at the Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. I'm sorry, a Cipher Cracking Convention? That's fascinating. Hi, wristwatch. We're exposing high treason? Apparently? And this motherfucker just keeps lying, and the woman on the jury is just like, oh no, everything he's saying is bullshit. Except she's a little bit more like, don't humble yourself so much. It's like, Graydon is a highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop. She doesn't realize how much she's damning him his ass.
Well, your idol would appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut.
She should really pick her idols more carefully.
I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Thank you, Punisher.
Hold it!
Okay, so what are they? They're not?
To leave into the brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds.
course, of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with the Morse code. Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. I'd be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson? Here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct tones. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A. And this is B. But here's the thing. Duh, it's the silence. The silence is the dots and the dashes. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it is the same in everything. But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. Yes, it is. You're just ignoring the obvious. Oh. It's in the silence.
Really? You shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? The music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in the future.
Stop. Nothing to say, but stop. Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Iris? I mean, if the government secrets are somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Give it a try? There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, two tones are required, dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what? Then what?
It would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward.
I'm on to you, motherfucker.
You had better present your idea at once, Counsel. How would you propose that this music box would appear to produce only a single tone could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code?
Oh shit, I haven't actually looked at it, have I? What is this? Hello? Oh. What is it, Bruno? I just noticed something about this music box because I forgot to actually inspect it before, you know, like I'm supposed to. Looks like the bottom of it opened up as well. Ah, you're right. Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it. Alright then, here goes.
There's a second one.
Look at that. There's another movement on the underside. So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side? Yes, I think so. And it looks like the two movements are linked together. They're linked? So if you had two discs, they would both play back at the same time. Oh! Fuck you, bitches.
Got it!
Good gracious, what am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box.
What? Okay, so it wasn't in the silence. Damn. Oops. Oh well, I was wrong. That's fine, we move on. It appears, my lord, that the two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in this music box, and the sound of both will play back at the same time. That's a good question. Where is the second disc?
Good heavens!
As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of two tones, a short dot, and a long dash. That being said, it might not actually matter where the second disc is or even what's on it. What matters is the fact that there's a possibility. That this thing has this second opening at all is pretty important. And it might actually kind of bring into, and it might help prove this case. Especially because, oh my god. Especially because whatever's on that disc, well, you certainly don't want us playing that in court where anyone who knows Morse code can just fucking hear it. With the second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message.
This is beyond a joke.
I'm sorry?
This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims.
Look, no, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well, crap, we don't have a second disc. I mean, oops. This is the mechanism that turns the bumps on the disc into sound, isn't it? Yes, the movement. It's all thanks to the cone with its teeth that are plugged by the missing passing bumps. Usually the teeth on the cone are different lengths so that each one produces a different tone. This cone is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length. Well, what does that mean? I mean, so no matter which tooth is plugged by the passing bumps, the music box will make the same sound. I've never seen a music box like it before. Yes, it is strange. A music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely. Don't call me Shirley. The second disc. Third bullet, Sholmes' pouch, music box disc. The stereoscope. Pictures. The guns. Floor plan, photograph, autopsy. Today's paper. We go to its case notes. Iris' story. The blood samples. The ticket. We don't have it. You might learn a friend to represent the court with the second disc. That would be another matter. Well, I can't at the moment. And the mayor remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus when McGill 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs.
Indeed. That was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
Exactly. I've nothing to do with it. And yes, the change in his accent is very intentional.
Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue.
The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere. I haven't found it yet. Oh dear. Looks like I need to give your argument more strength right now.
You will reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Grayson. If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with guild anyways. I have no relation to the man.
So 2 months ago, in that omnibus, McGill killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Okay, but here's a question. If you had no connection to it, how did you know it was there in the first place, you dumb bitch? Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information?
Oh, indeed.
There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason. Why are we still on this train of thought when this does not matter to Gina's case? In order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal.
Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that.
I feel like every time I talk as him, I should be like way up here, but then I can't read it anymore. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together.
You have nothing more to add on to that note. Let us return to the witness testimony.
All I done is break into the coffee and not like what it told us to do. Yeah, let me see what we have. I mean, that just an admin. There's paper, the autopsy report. Guns, photograph, stereoscope, music box tips, pouch, the bullet, and the music box.
Hold it!
Let's see what these two have to say. Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Silly me thought we were just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the rotter had a dodgy job for us. A natter? Hold on. Hold the fun. He knew them. Of course he did. Ash. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? It's very British. A sociable kind of bad, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon's in old China. I'll get back to him. I want to see what he keeps saying. That's the Graydon's not China. No, that was wrong.
Enough! Why don't you baddies desist with the fiction? Oh, obviously, I don't need these men from Adam. Now, for the last time, stop trying to implicate me in your sordid thievery.
That's blooming nice, isn't it? You little turncoat. I mean, he did straight up call himself Benedict. Alright, that's how you want it. You can play that game. We ain't never heard of this geezer before either. Don't know him from Adam. Never spoken to him before in my life. Never even seen him. Never, Nash, never. And he just his round hat is round, but I'm pretty sure it's like. Tell me it's the. I mean, hey, and the good news is we have his hat now. Let's look at the hat.
Grief, such a blatant lie. I will not stand in my court.
Well, all I'll say is this. We know it was dodgy government secret involved when I touched it. I just want to press him just to know what he's talking about.
Hold it!
And then we'll go back to Nash and we'll do that whole thing. So did you know nothing about this music box? We didn't know nothing. We still don't know nothing. How we ain't planning on knowing nothing about it either. But 2 nights ago, you did indeed break into Windibank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony, you said that the door of the shop was ajar, and that it was some kind of sign begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into Windibank's all along, weren't you? We were, Gav, we were. You're right there. Because that's what it told us to do. It was his plan. And why was it Mr. Graydon's plan to break into Windibank's that night? Did you not ask the reason? Well, no. Let's have a bus full of stuff with licking. What it told us beforehand, anyway. Turned out with a load of cobblers and I went best pleased, I can tell you. In any case, if they know the real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Exactly. Yep, we got the apple and the pear. Don't know where the orange is, but I'm sure we'll find them. Or the peach. Maybe the peach instead. Suddenly, although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. Nope. We don't need to know where the banana is. That's fine. The banana can stay away. We're good. We don't need it. It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? Negotiations Ginny overheard an omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in of Winterbanks. Well, the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus, but Mr. Gilded. No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. No, Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the Kino's making headway with the cross-examination here. Could it be those two brothers? It can and it is.
Hold it!
I'm just gonna go ahead and skip ahead of it. Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly on the baseball bat. And that's as much as I remember. Curse my throat. Okay. It's good that I refilled my second water bottle before stream today, like a smart person. Is it, yeah? Oh, I already did this. It was after he said that he didn't know them, right? I just hydrated. I'll hydrate again. Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone. Classic internet stuff that I honestly don't know the origin of. Or not even internet stuff. That's older than the internet, isn't it? Peanut butter jelly. How old was I when I first heard those two? Peanut butter, no, neither of those are. Banana phone, I think, is pre-internet. Peanut butter jelly time, I don't remember actually. Oh, just old stuff in general. Let's just leave it at that. My brain does not work for anything beyond 5 minutes ago. And even then, it's just kind of fuzzy. It's like Graydon's in old China.
Excuse
What
me.
you got, Apple Man? Ringo, what you got? I really should just be doing like a Beatles voice for him. Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Who? Me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when. Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean? Wow, I don't know why I thought Banana Phone was going to be older than Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Yeah, with Ash. I mean, look at him now in his fat whistle and flute and wouldn't let him believe it. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us. Is that so? But he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, and that's the truth. Remember Milverton Skulkin's milk run? Milverton Skulkin's milk run? Oh, it's a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oi, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? Oh, it was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. PB&J told me a song by a band from Miami. Okay, so I was partially right that one of them was an internet thing. Consul, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Let's add it to the testimony. My lord. Yes, Consul? The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Very well, Consul. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Say no more. A skulkin's never skulkin'. A skulkin's never skulkin'. Trying to go between two voices rapidly. Milverton Skulkin's milk run. God, them were the days.
Hold it!
I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? That's a skin way of going back when it was youngsters. But the fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's what it was all about. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved? That's that. It does look a little bit like Whitebeard's symbol from One Piece. Just a little bit. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? Yeah, that's it. Wait, Milverton. I do recognize that name. Where the fuck is it? Hold on. Crap. Here it is. No, I know his last name. Milverton. Mason, the rice-fired Mason, was his father. Dun dun dun! That's fine. That's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, right. I thought Clever Claw is what it was that went out.
Hold!
That is... Enough of this. Enough of this. How much longer I'll expect to listen to this drivel?
Objection!
I don't... Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying? Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of his name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well... It was opposite homes that one came from. Yeah, his old mouse struggling for money so much, his wife fucked off on him. Should've took the name Graydon then, see? But I shall always be Milverton to us. Milverton. So that used to be your surname, did it?
Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can learn the testimony of these two thieves? Hmm?
You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details would have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon.
Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable, for once. You were born Ashley Milverton. Is that correct?
Very well, yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. It could turn out to be extremely important. A childhood friend of the Skulkin brothers. All of a sudden, link between the two men somehow. Yeah, we already knew what they were saying there, so. I have no relation to the man. Oh, enchanté, my good sir. Wait. Where's your information? Oh, here we go. I hope that's the right piece of evidence. The only thing that has his name, Mason Milverton. Because I can't present to you your own fucking name. Yep, Mason Milverton. His old man.
Objection!
Mr. Ashley Milverton, tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court?
Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me.
No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name.
Explain yourself, please, Counsel.
I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim The man who we now understand had been negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Oh no! Well, good luck with your meeting there, wristwatch.
Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton.
Milverton? Do you mean to say? Saints alive!
Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? I don't... As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history would have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. Thank you, Zykes, for actually being helpful. Ugh. The truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded.
By dint of this music box, you mean, Counsel?
Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever.
But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his ends. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc of the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windibank's 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other he never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the 2nd disc.
Are you suggesting that the 2nd disc was inside the music box?
We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed, the music box was moved, not stolen, which means it was searched, which means there's a chance it was taken out. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item and one item alone: the music box.
I was rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed.
So the question that naturally begs answering is this: why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious. Because it contained the 2nd disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since, if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? I just realized there's a slight delay for me on the...
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
I feel like there's a delay with the audio that didn't exist before. I didn't do that, did I? It's entirely possible that I accidentally did, but... No, there's no offset. It should be good. Okay, yeah, now it's off. Now it's wrong. Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket, and I apparently missed it. Damn. Oh. Bitch got shot in the arm. 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windibank's pawnbrokery. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Who's got you now, Mill China? Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there in any circumstances whatsoever. Those are my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly I was a fool to think I could trust some common buxom thieves. Fine, I'll admit it. I was there in Winterbanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGinley.
As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort.
He's not going to go down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is... well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Winterbank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm.
Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself.
And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Winterbank was shot by a third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder.
Goodness!
That's right, Mr. Graydon. That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank that night is you!
Hold it!
Hold it! I know this is technically his voice, but I like mine better. You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, as you rightly say, I was there with the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility?
What do you mean? What thought? What possibility?
The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment.
A cane gun. Maybe. The end of it is off. It's possible. We got a Roman torch work situation on our hands, but I don't think so. Maybe.
You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client.
What?
Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him.
And who would fucking believe you at this point, you dumb bitch?
Order! 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 Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
I might have to move it up. I want to finish before... What time? At 9 o'clock? Okay. Let's see if we can finish this trial up within the next hour. So let's move a little faster. Mr. Graydon.
Yes?
I trust you are very aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer.
Oh, I understand fully.
Yeah, no, the audio, I don't know what's going on. Previous meetings running overtime. Good for you, wristwatch. Delay those meetings as long as possible. Gotta happen eventually.
I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Nothing will give me greater pleasure.
The moment of the shooting.
While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance of the shop. When Winterbank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw blood splattered all over that wretched girl. And she tossed the gun at the peephole. So I picked it up and made my escape.
There were so many very obvious lies in that one.
This is quite extraordinary testimony.
There was like 5 different lies.
You claim so, under oath.
So I've clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger.
Like, she had blood all over her. She threw the gun through the wind, through the peephole, blah, 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 all this other bullshit.
What the fuck? Hold on. What is wrong with the audio? Why is it off so much? Is it off for you guys, or is it just off for me? And I'm monitoring. It wasn't doing that before, was it? Okay, now it's fine. That was weird. Okay, it must have just been my monitoring then. Because now I undid the monitoring and turned it back on, and now its audio's synced up again properly. That was weird. Moving on. Where were we? Where she was found unconscious. Gina was holding this gun. Gina, who, by the way, was not covered in blood. Like, very obviously.
What is my intention to testify in this way? Well, either is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit.
You're just gonna aggravate your wound more.
So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation.
The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details.
Yes, sorry about that. I'm shot in the arm, and the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood.
You say the blood splattered over the accused coat? Are you sure on that point?
Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really?
If a coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. Zykes, are you gonna accept this bullshit that such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord? What? Shit! No! 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 I just remembered! Fuck! It is still gonna have blood on it! Mason's blood! Our test! We have the test! Our kit! We have the thing to test blood! Oh, but they don't believe it! Oh. Ah! Identify human blood. So here's the true science. Not some amateurist detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. It's called a hypothesis, bitch. In Germany, technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used, with your lordship's permission. We could shatter our vestiges of doubt within minutes. How does it look good right now? Why not? Well, we know, don't we? How there's blood all over the front of his coat. If they test it with their chemicals... Oh, help! You're right! I was forgetting what happened yesterday. That's right, we already know that there's blood on it because we tested that ourselves. It's Mason's blood. Shit. Mr. Mason's blood from when he was stabbed by McGilded. We in trouble now. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution.
Overruled. Lord Von Zykes, make it so at once.
Shit. With pleasure, my lord.
And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be...
Counsel,
Yes, my lord.
your cross-examination.
Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. Oh boy. Moment of the shooting. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When one bank threw an ash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him keep pulling the door, though.
Hold it!
You mean that's the moment you were shot?
Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the three men were brawling. It was exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot.
And the bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you.
So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal.
Well, no. The counter wasn't untouched because... things were moved and the lamp was broken. We know that. Did Mr. Winterbank come to shoot you, do you think?
Well, no, I don't imagine he even knows I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home.
When I pulled the gun on him, he tried to shove me out the way. And he scarpered through that door out back.
At which point, what did you do?
Hold it!
Why? Why would you pursue him? You mean you chased after him?
I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop.
And wasn't it about this peephole in the door you mentioned?
Unsurprisingly, storeroom doors are solid job, Mr. Stoutwood.
Well, there's a small opening on it about head height. I'll let you see what's what in there from the outside. Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. Move faster, please. Yeah, also, like, you wouldn't have seen the blood on it. What about you?
What about your burgling brothers? Did you see what went on to those people as well?
Not likely, Gav. There's here nothing of the sort, Gav.
I only superficially aware of the people's existence.
So the Skulkin brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Winterbank take place.
Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
The defendant. Why would she have shot him, though? What would the point be?
Yes, though neither of them noticed when I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man. And then, what did you see next? The accused in a black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety.
Hold it!
Where the... No, that's impossible. Because his back was to the door. Yes, when the crime scene was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand, but that was Mr. Winterbank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you.
Oh, but then, it wasn't the broker's gun that a pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Winterbank's gun grazed my arm, and yes, the Skulkin's gun grounded the detectives. But this was another gun entirely. A third gun.
The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. So you're saying she threw it through the window, and you... what, you took it? In other words, the accused would have had her own gun.
Objection!
But no other gun was found at the scene.
Calm yourself, counsel.
Sorry?
You must consider me events in order. At first I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then all of a sudden, the broker turned around, and it was at that moment that a little cutter around shot him in the back.
Chilling image, I must say. Also impossible based on his fucking location. That's a damn lie. It's so obviously fake. Saw blood splatter all over that wretched girl.
all over her. Yeah, so the people lights on cleanly.
Exactly. With what gun? First of all, now with what being such a color.
When I show you, that gun was just solely with the victim's blood.
Well, it is Hollywood blood, that's for sure. But it's not Mr. Winterbank's blood, is it? No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when we go to 2 months ago. It's so annoying that only Sir chemical analysis they could prove that. But they won't, so unfortunately we can't use it as evidence to support our case. Bother. Oh, bother. Then she tossed the gun out the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Why on earth would you fucking do— Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room? Why would she throw the gun out the room? Why would you run with it? Why would she then also pick up his gun and then pass out?
I was looking from the porch, she started walking over.
Over where exactly?
In the direction of the storeroom door, where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retrieved it, and then the girl dropped the gun and the people onto the floor on my side of the door.
Why on earth would she do such a thing?
I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place.
He's a fucking idiot. Like, that's the dumbest excuse I've ever heard in my life.
So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime? No, it was yours truly.
This is easily bullshit.
I left the clear up to my luggage and left.
Clear up?
We made a bit of a mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistle here to tell us to tidy up. He thinks he's a blimmin' man sometimes. Well, I was paying you enough, by God.
Yeah. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket?
You're like a bull at a gate, aren't you?
What the fuck's happening here? Hello?
Excuse me.
Gregson, what are you doing? What's happening over here? Gentlemen. What just happened?
Blimey. Blimey. Something wrong, sunshine?
That should be my line. Do realize you were just violently taking Mr. Skulkin.
Blimey. This is a bit of an hooligan, ain't he?
What was going on just now?
His arm, a grab and whistle. Why the blazes, he said. Didn't you mention the third gun when he got you down at the station?
And why didn't you?
Cause we didn't know nothing about it. Put a flaming people in the door. Sorry about that. Come in front of these my rocks sometimes. Not there, are you? Good blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, this dude gives me the willies.
That was strange. Professor doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone.
No, I wasn't like Gregsy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him.
Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris. And it's not just because you're adorable.
Well, anyway, I was definitely out of character.
He knows about that. He knows that the disc and all this. He knows that all that's real.
What's your feeling, Reno?
Much as I hate to admit it, I don't see any obvious holes in this. I do? Well, fuck?
You have to find a way to break this man, and quickly too, because once they discover the blood on the overcoat Gina was wearing. It's a bit strange that he's so sure of himself about seeing the blood splatter over Ginny's coat. Yeah, that is interesting. It doesn't strike me as the sort of thing you'd claim if you hadn't genuinely seen it happen.
Well, we know that Gina didn't shoot Mr. Wondering, so what's going on?
All I know is that's very unfair. Why should some German scientist test be acceptable as evidence when mine Hurley's wasn't? Detectives can use test tubes too.
Never mind that, I have to find a really certain inconsistencies. I have to find it before the prosecution discovers the blood stain on James' coat. Don't worry, I already know what we're doing.
Blah, there, further on.
Pursued him, peephole. A man attack as he was trying to flee to safety. Are you quite sure about that, sir? What? Wait, no, hold on. I know for a fact that this is inconsistent. You know. Hold the goddamn phone. What? No, that was damning evidence.
Thank you, Consuls.
Oh, well, we fucking lost. All right. According to the powers vested in me by Her Majesty the Queen. No comments.
I declare no further examination necessary. As such, I'll be requesting the final decision of the members of the jury. Are you all ready, Mr. Foreman? Absolutely, my good sir.
Yeah, that's not. Why was that not acceptable? Why was that going to work? Why did that not work? Hello? This clearly shows that she has no way to be behind him in that room.
Guilty.
Guilty.
She could not have shot him in the
Guilty.
back because of where he was. I guess the picture of
Guilty.
Guilty.
guilty. I forgot that his voice was so textured. I did not click the wrong thing. I thought for sure that would be correct.
Oh, anybody declare the runner as Gina fraud? Blah, guilty.
That's fine. We have checkpoints.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I applaud you all considered in expanded deliberation. Court is adjourned. Blah, blah, blah.
Rest in peace. Retry from the scene. Great, but now I have to kind of redo some of that. The only thing that I think I have to redo... Was it this one? Yeah, this one.
Hold it!
Blah, we already know all this. Absolutely. It was here, right?
You little toe rag! Excuse me!
You little toe rag! That was harsh. Alright, we already know all this. Well, there's nothing else really here. I just needed to make sure that we got the skin. Clicking that was a bad move? What, the picture? Or the crime scene photo, I mean? I don't know. Okay. Luckily we have all 5 of our lives back, so we're good. Maybe? I mean, we can see.
Hold it!
We'll see what happens if we ignore it. But generally that happens because you're supposed to. Do something about it.
But I admit nothing of the sort. After all, you can't even show the court that it doesn't exist, can you?
As expected, you won't admit to anything unless I can thrust the evidence in his face.
It's not as easy as you thought, is it? It's a bit of crime on this panel.
Yeah, I think that will always happen every time until you bring it up. Maybe not right now, but you won't be sniggering like this forever. Okay. Okay. Pain. Shot the man as he was trying to flee to safety. Oh, also, wait. There's another reason. Because there's no blood here? Like, maybe this?
Objection!
No, the music didn't stop. It has to be something around here. Right?
Objection!
It's still wrong. Why is it still wrong? This is it. This is all, like, true. Like, this should be obvious. Like, what? This is all accurate. Well, we have the picture of Windibank's, where his body was. We have the scene of the crime, or the scene, like, we have the scene. We have the floor plan, which again, should be pretty damn telling that she couldn't have done it. We also have this. The fact that she... Of course. Okay, hold on. Safety. Because at least that looks like proof that she didn't have her own gun.
Objection!
Oh, you're right. She wasn't wearing the coat. Oh, I'm stupid. I was so busy focusing on other stuff, but you're right. No, yes, she was. There it is. She is. She was wearing the coat. Damn it. No, I thought she was. But I was confused when you said that she wasn't. Anyways. So that's not helpful. Frick, frack. Girl, look at that rich girl. Black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety.
Objection!
Nope, it's... And just like that, we're back down to 1, because now I'm just trying shit. That should theoretically work. All this is true. He shut himself in the storeroom.
Objection!
Okay, no. I'm just gonna... Oh. Hold on. Oh, no, I didn't save, did I? Now we'll just run back through it.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
What exactly are you looking from me? Looking for from me? The problem is, I think my save is a little bit far out. I need to make a new save. There's the problem of the fact that if she had a third gun, why was she holding on to his? I was in the broker. I was still near the entrance to the shop. After the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. Should the man be sent himself to the storeroom and see the people in the door, though?
Objection!
Eh? Yeah, I had a feeling that wouldn't work, but I pursued the man and returned to the storeroom. Blacko shot the man as he was trying to flee to safety. I can prove that that's not accurate. No problem, not that one. He just keeps saying that he doesn't. He just says some other stuff that doesn't matter. Here, let's just try this.
Objection!
Case papers. Case papers. This isn't helpful. Autopsy report. Okay, you know what? I'm tired of all this running around. What you got for me, wristwatch? The omnibus report? This one? The case notes? It does not. They wouldn't know that he was wearing the case. This was about the coat. They wouldn't know about it. Because he wasn't wearing it when he was arrested. Picked up and made my escape. Blood splatter all over that rich girl. A little bit, yeah.
Objection!
But it's not. Okay. What part of the trial are we in? Trial part 4. This is something stupid. Wait, hold on. You're kidding me, right?
Hold it!
You're absolutely kidding me with this.
You little toe rag! Excuse me!
I don't think we were supposed to.
Hold it!
This doesn't say anything about actually. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I have to press them on every statement. God, and I didn't. Oh, kill me. I was like, this is so obviously fake. Like, there are things that I know to be true, but fuck.
He already had the revolver in his hand, fortunately. I wasn't too close.
I've never been so scared in all my life. Yeah, we're just your regular mild-mannered burglars. That's all. We don't like violence. How's the pair who carry a gun? What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop?
I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items.
Looking for the music box, of course.
Nash in the first place, then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong.
I was trying to help my little bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter. I put my gun on the old fella, and I soon made him scarper.
But if you were setting up on the border fences, Paul broke to get that shame on you.
Sorry, Gav.
Hold it!
Oh wait, no, we already pressed well. And this one we already heard. We never did press that first one. So shoot them in, but yeah.
Hold it!
Wow. Yeah, I guess that wasn't a while ago. Oof. Sorry, I'm just kind of starting a little quiet. We're just running through this because, as far apparently, we really do just need to wait for the officers to come back with the information, with the results. Which, like, isn't that exactly what we were supposed to be stopping? We were supposed to figure stuff out before then. Oh yeah, it's my brain. I haven't been reading this entire thing. I just realized this is a thing I don't think, Yes, when the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. There was only a single bullet. A third gun? No, we have seen this. Objection on the left side. Let's consider the events in order. Shilling image on well shit. Broken the girl glaring at each other. It still doesn't make sense.
Hold it!
Of course, we already know this part. Here it is. Yeah. Why did we have to wait for that? The whole thing was we have to figure out the hole in his plan, in his story, before they get back with the results. All right, I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
Question all officer permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. The results of the test that we have ordered earlier, my lord.
Me blood on the accused's overcoat.
Thank you, officer. Very well, the cross-examination.
We never pressed the very first one. That's the one that messed up.
So no,
my lord. Alright, Gragsy, give me the bad news.
There you have it.
The report, please, Inspector.
Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of spattering following a gunshot wound.
Except we know that that's not true. We know that that's not true for like a dozen different reasons that we tried to give those reasons, but they wouldn't let us give those reasons because fuck me, I guess.
What did I tell you?
No, the blood on that coat is not Mr. Windibanks.
What on earth makes you say that, Consul?
The coat originally belonged to Madison McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windibanks, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on the overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker.
Objections!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my police friend? Sorry? 2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGilded's innocence? And yet, now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. I was wrong, okay? We already know this. Your conduct shatters any thorough respect you may have earned for yourself in this country.
I call it bias, Chris. Essentially, that's what it is.
How to determine whether the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? The mysterious cup couldn't help the answer to that problem pop out. It can't be done. But we use Mr. Specialty formulated chemicals.
Mr. Jones, a detective, not a chemist.
Yeah, would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communication doctor? I mean, if you were good at that shit, sure. Also, I was really... Oh, there's something wrong with... There we go.
I held out Piroski to starving boy and you ran away crying.
What does that have to...
Sherlock Holmes is more than a figment of... It's barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. There's no weight in his courtroom, no weight at all.
Why would you say that? He's a very real man, and he's gonna be pissed off when he gets in here and hears you say that.
Victory is indeed. It proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish.
This proves fucking nothing.
The witness said the accused coat was spattered with the blood of the victim.
It was splattered with blood. You don't know that it was the blood of the victim. Motherfucker.
Crane could possibly have known this fact as if he saw it happen.
In other words, his testimony is solid and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the old truth. I hate you. I hate all of you. You all are all motherfuckers. Every last one of you.
Well, look, been a long battle this one. Unless old War has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman?
At this moment, so the squadron has reached its final decision. Are you kidding me?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty, guilty.
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 Are you kidding me? We have to do another summation examination now? We're not finishing by 9 o'clock. I'm letting y'all know that right now. It's not happening. Unless there's a miracle right here. It isn't happening.
His verdict.
I hate all of you.
The defense is consistently failed to unpick these witnesses' testimony. Is to any attempt to make other than picking the judge's decisions being equally successful.
Summation examination. Let's frickin' go. Don't stab the judge. Stab the man in the white suit. I've come so far. How's it all unraveling on me so fast? Also, but you can... Like, 9 o'clock my time, Maya.
How very distressing.
We held in such... It's Sherlock Sholmes! He's here to save the day.
To be held in such low esteem.
Sherlock, my man? Are you...
Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Narrowhead? Officer, you've delivered the report now. That will be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind.
I know that voice. Am I going mad? Ah! This son of a bitch! Mr. Sholmes!
What is the meaning of this?
What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in the hospital.
As well I would be, I have not been set up upon an errand.
What errand? Hurley! It's really you! You'll make it last! Ah, no, that's fair, Maya.
Yes, good day, Iris. Could you rather late to rise? My apologies. Now, my lord, if you would humour me. In what manner, sir? I have something quite important I wish to give the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you call it so kind as to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Von Zykes?
Okay, so what's interesting is so the story goes real fast. Iris's father, Mr. Wilson, was Sherlock Sholmes' partner and friend for a long time, and was on many of his ventures before he went to Japan to be a professor, or at least a like exchange professor over in Japan. Who's dead now, but Iris doesn't know that. Iris, however, is the one who writes. It does kind of put herself a little into the stories, because she writes the Sherlock Sholmes books under the guise of Dr. Wilson, because she actually is Dr. Wilson. So to some degree, yes, she is the Watson.
This trial has taken many hours to record time, having spent so long already. Exactly. I've spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense of mere 5 minutes.
What's wrong with Gregson?
Well, look, I told you are 5 minutes.
He's so antagonist to us.
Dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival.
Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now?
All right. I'm all wrong.
Sorry?
I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I've asked the job for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray, forgive me, should I pass out?
Let's make this discussion as short as possible.
Hurley, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Oh well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. Never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. An oversight on my part.
Right. Modesty? Surely not.
But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow.
Susato-san, she must have given that to a lavender photoshiki wrapping. A leaving present from Mrs. Sato. From Mrs. Sato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. Is it her book? Please tell me it's her book. I don't understand. Mrs. Sato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhanded. And that you, Mr. Lorihodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. It's a third gun. No, in this case it's a fourth gun. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Sato-san? Whatever could it be? It's the camera! What is that? Oh! It's the machine I made. Wait, no, not the camera. What is this one? The door. Wait, seriously? This came back? The cat door maker? I forgot about that. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. Wait, what is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. I can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. How is this going to help us solve the case? Or prove the case? Case is already solved. What's Susie up to? Mrs. Sato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Did she say something like this? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. We still don't know what she meant by that. Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night, when you left Winterbanks in pursuit of the thieves, Mrs. Sato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow. Not at all cryptic, then. So I suddenly used this cat flapper mat that night. No, wait. No? Why? Creation of small flaps on your door, so court record. No. She did it. Did she? Your 5 minutes is over. Wait. Remember you for forwarding us that brief for us, Mr. Reaper? I need no thanks, detective. After all, the die is cast. What if that peephole in the door... Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. You think you know what you're thinking? Because I'm thinking that peephole that we looked through... I'm thinking that hole didn't exist prior to that night. And then I consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end. Badly. My lord, the defense requests further cross-examination. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
I'm sure it wouldn't give it this to me, but... The jurors have spoken. Protocol does not cross-examine a new witness now. Who said anything about a new witness? The defense is not asking for the cross-examination exactly because this new evidence is not going to help us in a summation examination. It will not help us with the jurors. It will help us, however, with his lies. Rather to continue with one of an existing witness. What? It would appear that a rather important detail has kept your attention, Mr. Reaper. Oh, Lord. Does your lordship interrupt the cross-examination?
Thank you, officer. Very well then.
Examination is hereby temporarily suspended. So you have no objection, counsel? That's right, it was only suspended. Clever. So nobody can say anything then. If we're not asked to resume his cross-examination, Mr. Graydon. The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd.
I'll remind those present that this is my court. I concur that the defense is entirely within his rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in continuing this cross-examination. Counsel, you must use but one statement from the witness' testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your arguments against it.
A single chance to present evidence? I already know what it is. I already know what I'm doing.
If only that's an
I just want to look at this real fast. Yes, the shape of it is perfect. Lovely. Perfect. That's terrifying. Yes, look at the placement of the blades of the hinge. Fish shield and rip through them. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. Cutter rotates 10 times per second so I can get through any kind of door in no time at all. And what are the two parts at the top there? Those are for attaching hinges to the section of the door that gets cut out. Right, of course. Well, I can match this machine for power. I can make a mincemeat of even the tough doors. It sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it's for, but it feels like the reality of Cat 5 Man is that of a grim weapon of door destruction. Oh yeah, he's still adorable. That's not what I do for him. Even developing deadly weapons. Fair enough. That's all we needed.
Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further.
My lord. Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell in a dead faint. I leave this in your capable hands. Good night, Himbo. Mr. Sholmes! He's fine. He'll be fine. Perfectly alright, nothing to worry about there.
To stand so innocuously before the court and say such high fervor, either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling.
I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike him in when he's down, why don't you?
Oh, then, counsel, are you fully prepared?
Yes, I am. Yes. One statement. One piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down. Or Iris. And I won't waste this final chance that Sato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of this trial.
Very well then, under the terms I've outlined, you may continue the cross-examination.
Okay, one statement. One piece of evidence. While I was adjusting with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When being through Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he showed himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. In a black coat, shot the man in his back. I'm sorry to say,
Objection!
you didn't do that.
What on earth is this eccentric consumption, counsel?
Oh, here's my cat Papa, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of, and make a neat little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without their owners having to open the main door.
I'm sure we can all work.
Wait a
I'm sure we can all work that over ourselves. But that cat limb's contrivance has no possible relevance in this case.
Oh, really?
Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. Not bearing a keep of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way, then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon. A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windibank had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork of the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes.
Yes, and the 3 of us were together. And it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There's a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that.
After all, I looked through it.
Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see through the locked storeroom.
This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I share as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake?
Yes. How could you?
What?
So, kindly say what you mean. No more riddles. Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through.
What? No!
But also it makes sense. Why would there be a peephole in there? What the fuck kind of reasoning is that? This is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was... Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place, by my judicial assistant using this device.
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. That is the most serious act of vandalism.
For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes.
Riddle, explain yourself, Constable.
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendants is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door.
Yes, that filthy girl searching the man in the back.
However, if at the time of the incident that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies.
Order, order, order. Is there any credence in this revelation?
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly. Those are some cheap shits designed to discredit me.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that play? They can cut through a solid wooden door.
Oh, you want evidence? Oh yes, I learned to be very powerful. Can cut through even the toughest of doors.
It's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
What?
Waggy, Cooey, time for dinner. Oh, look what we already did. Why is the cat here? I don't know why the cat's here, nor do I care. Well,
Young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cut flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey.
I'm not done yet. Don't worry.
Well, this doesn't mean that people in the storeroom door when the banks were made by your machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was.
No, but it's easy.
What?
My cat flap and my crates are all a fixed size. And the dimensions of the people at Windibanks are an exact match. Helsicky's lost for words. Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. You know, it's my learned friend soon to be lost for words, I feel. I believe the judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern and at home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume people as dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, win was the people cut. The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Shit. Am I blind? Oh my god! Oh my god, I never knew. Would you look at that? I never even thought to look at where the peephole was. Look at the door! Look at the door! Oh, this is
Misato-san! What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Von Zykes? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the people was killed after the incident using this device, but now that the perpetrator has returned to the native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. There is proof! I have it! And as for how the defense remains unable to prove when the people was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation. No, it makes sense because it's not moved. The only thing about it that's different is that there's now the slightest little gap there. The reason why all the items there appeared in the stereoscope is because they moved slightly, perfectly. Same thing with the box. The reason that didn't move is that didn't appear because nothing was moved. You wouldn't see anything extra. So it would just make the same blurry image. Because there's nothing, it wasn't proper. Indeed, that today is Lord Van Zykes. Well, Counsel, don't give up now, Reno. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through. I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Celestine is the greatest judicial system in the world. And we're running out of time. Very well, the Counsel of Defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Okay, wait. I know Caden's starting, but...
Take that!
We'll get to that in a moment. A print from that attackers in front of cameras again. My judicial assistant, Mrs. Sato Mikotova, oh, I was in his voice, is an extremely intelligent, capable woman. Caden's going live, but we're here. We're almost there. Hold on. I didn't cast it down. That she would have considered the scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof. And the necessary proof is this photographic print, Constable. This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the permit. You know what? This is actually a good time to stop. We'll continue this next week because there's still going to be like this whole rigmarole, finishing up the case, blah blah blah, and like all the post-credit stuff. So we've solved it. We're good. We're gonna go ahead and go because I'm out of time and I need to get dinner. But thank you all so much for joining me today. And for all this great times that we've had. It is time for us to move on. I know I'm leaving it off kind of a weird spot, but we'll be right back here. Next time, nothing lost. And then we won't be, you know, oh no, I can do that. And we won't be, you know, missing anything. We're gonna go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, thank you all. Oh, I just realized something. Okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all probably on Saturday for Genshin Impact, and next week we will figure out our schedule soon-ish. I don't know, but hopefully for more of this, and the subathon, of course. Subathon, very good. Until then, hope you all have a great night. And words are escaping me now. Have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. Be nice. Have fun. And I'll see y'all then. Bye.